What's up, guys? Welcome back to my channel. Please like and subscribe, and I hope you're well. So today I'm challenging myself because I think in the last video, or maybe the video before that, I got to talking a bit about separation and a kind of more like Buddhist philosophies or like those deep truths about we are all one, and that seems to be the case. Like, I just think the evidence is in favor of that. But that being said, we've kind of all accepted that as a society, and yet if you look around, we don't exactly live it. We don't live like it's true because experientially we don't really believe it. And I'm not going to get into like what the hell belief even is, but there's different levels to belief, let's put it that way. And there's the level at which you intellectually, consciously accept it. And then there's deeper levels where it's not even something to accept or disallow because it's just the way it is. So there's nothing you consciously have to do. There's nothing, you don't even have to talk about it because it's like talking about something that's so obvious you don't even talk about. Like what? I don't know. Like eating or sleeping or any of it. So separation. This seems to be the word, and it's interesting to pay close attention to words because also these words are translations, so it's like the closest word that they could find in English. I'm talking now more about like Buddhist traditions or Tibetan, so it'd be like Indian or Tibetan translations into English. And it seems like the root cause of suffering is, well, let's not go into suffering, but separation. Separation is what seems to get in the way for our understanding of life. And you can hear that and be like, all right, separation. Sure. And this also goes into, what's the word? Binary. Like, oh, there's a word for dualism. Thank you. Dualism. That dualism is what splits us, is what creates conflict and tension and discomfort and struggle. Dualism, that we think one thing is this, one thing is that. Good, bad, white, black, happy, sad. Or whatever. We think there is differentiation between things, right? And that's separation. We think there's this and this is not this. And specifically, there's this, me, and then there's that, you. And again, we don't even think about this. Like, it's just there. It's just like on your face that you have a face. You know? Like, right, there's me and there's you. And we're separate, right? I'm not over there. I'm over here. I'm not gonna just repeat this over and over and over. Although maybe if I see, part of the reason that I'm doing this video is because I actually want to understand it. And so maybe if I just repeat this over and over and over, something will like bling in my head. But it seems to me like these understandings are not a flash of insight kind of phenomenon for me. Unfortunately, it's like a slow parting of the wave, a slow like clearing of the windshield. Very slow, but very fulfilling along the way. Because every one I'm like, ooh, ooh. And I dust it off and I look at it and then I talk about it and people are like, do you do anything besides think of these things all day? And no, I don't. I mean, I do, but not really. Okay, so separation. Okay, so let's talk more about like, I'm over here and you're over there. All right, so our identities from what we unconsciously believe, our identities end skin level, pretty much. Like, okay, these are my arms, this is my head, this is my hair, this is all me, okay? And then anything beyond that is not me. So right now, like I'm looking at a piano, that's definitely not me, that's piano. Right now I'm looking into the camera lens, that's definitely not me, that's a camera, and I'm talking to you, whoever you are, and I'm definitely not you because I'm over here talking to you, right? Okay, so that's one way of perceiving the world. It's a way of perceiving the world that we're located somewhere, right? And even location creates separation because it means that there is a something, and whenever there is a something, like a location, there is a something that is different from that, because if there weren't something different from that, you wouldn't need the location. I think I'm actually doing really well with this so far. Okay. But it's a way of perceiving the world. And so then so I have this, let's jump to that other end and see if we can bridge the gap. Okay. So then on the other end, what all the wise people are, those wise people, those Sadhgurus, those Buddhas, those Jesus Christ, those people, you know? Yeah. What they're saying is, no, it's all one. It's all just ising. All of it. There's nothing not ising. There is nothing not this. It's all one. You and me are the same. We actually are one. I'm not going to go into this experience. I had this experience where no, I'm not going to go into it. But this has really tripped me up in the past, that like, if this is true, it made me really sad. It made me really sad because it was like, oh, so I get to have a sense of you. I get to have a perception of a you out there. But at the same and so I get to have you, you know? I was talking to someone at the time about this. I was like, I get to have you. By keeping you out there, you exist. But at the same time, it's lonely because you're all the way over there, and I want this incorporation, right? I want this closeness that I can never have, because the second that I make you a part of me, you don't exist anymore. It's just more me. And I was crying a lot about this at the time when I had this like big realization, and it's still kind of like stayed with me, and I've just kind of been rolling it around in my head like a marble. And I think finally I'm at a place where it's not sad, like that the sadness was one more lens, like one more perception of what that is, like a commenting, a pointing at what existence is, or what duality or separation is. And again, like that is any point of view, individual point of view, is in a way another means of separating, that I have some distinct declaration about how it is, creates individualism, right? And nothing is anything, and everything is everything. So anyway, this like sadness was interpretation, right? And I think I'm finally at a place now where like I see the absolute. I'm glinting. What's this when you do this? I'm starting to see the beauty and the opposite of that sadness, like the relief that whether you're over there or you're a part of me, like it actually means that I'm never alone. See, like in the first place, I thought it meant that like loneliness was perpetual because there's just me, really. And now I've maybe like come around to the other end where I'm like, I'm never, ever, 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 ever alone. Because it's like, it just goes off in every direction. It's so hard to talk about this because all language is divisive, really. So even like direction means that there's like location, right? And anyway. So, okay, let's talk about this like oneness, this allness, right? That's actually what is true. And then separation, that I'm over here, you're over there, is where we are. So how do we bridge that, right? And I think the place that you start is you realize that it is because you are standing in a place. Your point of view, your perception is standing in a place, right? And so really all you have to do is stand in a different place. Or give up standing, actually. Give up standing in any location. Because you can see that the standing in a place is just a part of all of it. And you can just as quickly stand in another place. You can actually just as quickly stand in another place. And that everyone that you perceive and everything that you perceive is standing in a different place, right? And your perception of them standing where they are standing is all part of your experience. I'm getting ahead of myself. I'm getting heady about this. Okay. I'm just going to say that I don't know what to say. Separation. I don't know what to say. I might have to redo this one. Another way to put it is that it all comes down to energy. And that there's nothing but energy. Although I actually wonder if this is like one more thing that is kind of giving us permission to experience the oneness, that now we can like quantify it into like a quantum field or something. And that's just like a fancy way of experiencing what could be experienced in a different way. But I think I did actually say it. Like the separation is the commitment of duality, of something is this way and something is that way. I am over here, you are over there. You are this, I am this. It's that consistency. And the second that you start breaking that down, actually, you start seeing like where that doesn't hold water. Literally, right? And ironically, it's like it's where we want to go. We want to go there so badly. We really, really want to lose ourselves because it's painful. It's painful to keep ourselves apart from the truth, right? And I think that's why we get so much pleasure out of art or passions or sports or a great show or a great movie, is because we lose ourselves, right? And the losing of ourselves, or the loosing, like, letting loose of ourselves, is actually like giving in to what is actually happening, which is like, we're nowhere. We're not here. We're everywhere. We're everywhere. We're everything that is happening, always. And so when we stop thinking of ourselves and stop limiting ourselves with what we think we are, with our identification, then we can actually like be present with how much bigger and how much more is actually going on that we allow ourselves to experience in those moments of drawing or dancing or laughing or whatever it is. Okay, that was my attempt at separation. So I hope you guys all enjoyed that, and it's freezing cold here in Montreal today. But that's fine. And I am gonna go for a walk, and I don't know. I love you. I love you, and I hope you're staying well and strong and happy and healthy.